Wow, they said we're going to have a bit of rain today. We weren't quite expecting this. It's going absolutely mad. Really crazy. Steve was making water. Sorry if you can't hear me very well. He was making water and he's had to stop at the moment. It's torrential. Oh God. We finally left Grenada in what was beautiful weather and we had a fantastic sail. Unfortunately, that didn't last very long. We had a storm and then another storm and then another storm. We dragged anchor and we had to do an overnight watch when we were on anchor just to make sure that we didn't drag again. What a week. Enjoy the video and don't forget to leave us a comment and give us a like if you've enjoyed it. Cheers guys. We are Steve, Annette and Gus and we live on this beautiful Venus 46 Ketch called Cordelia. Our life is simple. We plan to go as far as we can for as long as we can and share it all with you. So last week we took our final trip round to the bottom of Grenada. We had a couple of jobs that we needed to do. Steve fixed the expansion tank. We decided that a decision has to be made on the anchor chain, which is really, really bad. And we pick up our cushions, which we're really pleased with and we show you later on in this episode. That's it, our first hurricane season in Grenada is over. We started it being broken down for 9 weeks. I flew back to the UK to get a major part and then we had to order another major part. Then whilst we went through Storm Brett, Steve rebuilt the engine. We also explored the island by car. We loved the people who are super happy people, made new friends who will see along our journey again. We experienced the most amazing food and saw the most amazing sea life. We really have had a truly brilliant time here. We'll probably be back next year when we fly down to Barbados to get our US visas, but until then we are headed to Carriacou to check out, Martinique to provision the boat, and we think St. Martin for Christmas. But we all know when you live on a boat, plans are made in sand, so we'll see. Wow, they said we're going to have a bit of rain today. We weren't quite expecting this. It's going absolutely mad. Really crazy. Steve was making water. Sorry if you can't hear me very well. He was making water and he's had to stop at the moment. It's torrential. Oh God. I think you're a bit wet. Yeah, look at this. Wow. And poor Steve, the windows that he did last week, the hatches he did last week, my God, it's really loud. The hatches he did last week, unfortunately, we already knew that there was a bit of a leak on there, but worse now than what it was before.
Yeah, a real success, an absolute success story.
Look at all the pans. We've got 3 pans there, 1 pan there, look how wet it is. Oh my God. It's crazy. Unfortunately the window was open over here as well, so it's wet all down here. Good God. It makes for a bit of excitement, but excitement you don't really want. Bloody hell.
Annette, I'm cold. I don't do cold.
Oh, poor Steve. But then I did get wet last night when I had to go out.
There we go. Not like I got wet.
Well, no, not quite, no. But then that's the thing. We ought to be out there having a shower. Do you want some soap? Do you want me to go and get the shower done?
No, it's too cold. I'm cold.
As you see, he was right in the middle of making water. We were going to sail to Carriacou today. We're halfway in Rhode Island. I'm glad we didn't go today. Wise decision, Mr. M. Things are calming down. For the moment, anyway.
Oh!
Feel a bit warmer.
Yeah, I got really, stupidly I got really cold because I went out there with just shorts on and got really cold.
Yeah.
Grey old day. It's like being on the Solent in the summer. The Solent is a stretch of water on the south coast of England. The water's brown, the skies are grey, the tides are strong, and the summers are cold. Wetter than an otter's pocket. Got a bit of rain in the car.
Story of our life at the moment. Steve was just redoing the hatch over the bedroom and look at that sky.
For the fourth time today, I've been trying to prep it to glue it back together again. Hopefully it'll pass. This one looks a little bit more horrible.
Wow, that's Carriacou kind of high street over there. Wouldn't think so. I've just been in for a swim with Gus. Thought I was going to go snorkeling, but unfortunately because of the rain yesterday, can't see anything. It's very cloudy, so we just had a quick swim around and we're back out again. You're not repairing the winch, are you? Just
No, I'm just servicing it. Greasing the grease bits and oiling the oil bits. Park and stuff, but an Anderson winch. But they're all pretty much the same.
no. Steve, you're sat right in the sun there. Do you not want a t-shirt?
Yeah, I've got one.
Don't be funny. Get back, Gus. For goodness sake, come on, get down. You're going to get grease on you. No, I'm being serious, Steve. Do you want me to go and grab your t-shirt?
No, I'm alright. So I've been making water this morning, and when I make water, I've got to get in this cabinet down here, and I'll take the wheel off and tie it off, and I don't always put it straight back on. We leave it off because it makes the cockpit bigger, and it started blowing up, and it was getting a bit lively, and I thought I'll put the wheel back on just because if it gets bad we need the wheel. And just as I come round to put the wheel on, I look over, or I look that way, and we're alongside that boat there. And we were dragging at quite a speed, and we haven't dragged for 4 years. It's the second time we've dragged. Second time. Okay, that's enough. And reverse again. Reverse again.
I am reversing! I am reversing, Steve! We're probably... Oh, is the anchor still down?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're not going anywhere! And take the fender!
No, I want you to stay at the wheel.
Okay. Oh my god, we are dragging. We've just dragged about 100 metres. It's the first time we've ever dragged. Oh no, I lie. We dragged when we got to Formentera. No, Ibiza.
The windlass has popped now.
I'm not sure what he means by popped. The windlass has popped. What does that mean?
It don't work.
Oh.
I can't remember what the word is.
It has been blowing and blowing and blowing. Okay, back in neutral. Oh my god, that was mad for a little while. The funny thing is that we had a really strong gust come through, and but about an hour ago a 90-foot cat has just come in, and I just wonder whether they've dislodged our anchor. I don't know. Anyway, no?
No, they wouldn't touch that. Getting our anchor off the bottom. And I thought I might have had his anchor as well. But no. So what I want to do now is just put it in reverse.
Yeah. Steve put on an anchor alarm because the strong winds continued all the way through the night, gusting up to 40 to 43 knots. Having already dragged once during the day, he was paranoid that we might drag again.
So it's me back again. I left the net asleep. I've had a packet of crisps. I've had a little bit of Coke, a little bit like now, and wind's died off a little bit. It sounds worse than it is. All good, nothing to worry about. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and that Gus are asleep. We've had a wild blow going on all day, and I've been up now on anchor watch. We dragged twice today, we've re-anchored twice, which is really unusual. So normally the rock now is like rock solid, but I think we've got a layer of sand that's only about 8 to 10 inches deep, and then rock underneath it. And when it starts to go, we've been probably gusting 40 knots. I'm tired, but sometimes you've got to do these things. Anyway, about time I'm waking it up and get her to do her turn. No, I leave her asleep. I can sleep later on. Anyway, catch up with you later. Bye.
Steve's gone ashore. We went ashore about an hour ago. It was relatively calm at that point, but it's really started to kick up. The one good thing is that I'm right at the back of the anchorage, so if we do start moving, then we move out to sea. And hopefully the anchor will catch again. If it does, if we start to drag, the flexi panels at the front, the solar panels, are going mad with the wind. I'll try and show you. I've got a kind of an anchor point, if you like. There's a red tug just through there. So as long as I've got that beside me, and we've got a huge cat on the other side of me. I've left Gus down below. I've turned the engine on, just in case I do need to start moving forward a bit. If I just feel that I need to move forward. See, this is the side of sailing that you don't see, the cruising life. You don't see this, do you? You don't want to see this. The thing is, your mind starts playing tricks, and you think that you're moving, and you're not, or are you? And my anchor points are all still there, but because the sea's moving, and you're obviously moving a little bit, it just makes you feel like you're moving. And having dragged yesterday just makes you a little bit more wary. I think Steve's tried to come back. Oh my god. What a fool. It's wild out there. I'm going to go and give him a hand. At the time of making this video, 2 days later, the storm is still continuing. As soon as it abates, which should be tomorrow, we'll be on our way to Martinique. So the original cushions were this kind of, Steve reckons it's leather, but I think it's PVC, but anyway, underneath, and they're pretty scabby. But you would have seen those last week. These are covers that we've had for quite some time. They were made about 20 years ago. They were made in Thailand and they're superbly made, and they have lasted this long. Unfortunately, we did lose this one in Martinique, so we had Rolling Stitches make us up just a spare one. There was no way they were ever going to match the material, so they're as near as damn it, which is quite a good match, I think, really. So yeah, it's so we've got the seat there, and we've got the seat there. We are going to fill this in as a kind of cupboard underneath there and have this as a sofa, so get rid of that table altogether. So we've got enough material to make a big cushion at the bottom and a big cushion at the back, and also enough for this as well to recover this here, which is only really there because we use it as a sofa in the evenings to kind of lounge around in, but the whole idea is that you could put a mattress over this and use it as a double berth. So now we'll show you what we've had made, and we're really pleased with it. I know a lot of you have asked about our cushions, and yeah, when are we going to reveal them? So this is the colour that we chose. Yeah, we didn't go with the modern colour nowadays is grey, but we couldn't have grey in here. There's too much teak and wood to have grey. It would have looked awful. So we needed something that was a bit brighter. The cushion over there that Steve's pointing at
is just material. We're going to make cushions.
Yeah, that is material, a roll of material. So we're going to have cushions. We're going to make cushions out of that material. So we're really happy with them. They're still a little bit wrinkly at the moment because they've been folded up in a bag, and they certainly do make it look a lot different in here.
Do you like them, Gus? Do you like them? No?
Good to hear. What do you think? Do you like them? Or do you think we should have gone with a more modern colour?
Oh, no.
Ooh. Hi guys, quick Q&A this week. We're sat in Tyrrell Bay in Carriacou, and it is blowing a hoolie, so we do apologise if the sound's a little bit. I will try and
tweak it.
Yeah, as much as we can.
And we'll try not to drag. We dragged about half an hour ago, started drifting off out to
and
Panama.
We're just a little bit panicky at the moment, but anyway, our first question comes from Vicky Cooper and Chris Brown. They want to know our preference between the Mediterranean and the Caribbean.
Ooh, I like both. But
I think what we need
for
to do,
different reasons.
Yeah, we need to tackle each aspect that we can think of. So, for example, food. Food's a big one. It's definitely cheaper in the Mediterranean.
And you've got more variety, and you've got Lidl, and you've got Mercadona, and
yeah, and frequency of food is a lot easier and a lot better in the Med. And I say that just based on lots of things. You know, we can't get meat very easily in Grenada. I mean, we've been able to buy potatoes last night. It was the first time that Carriacou had potatoes for 5 days.
We're going on a potato hunt.
Yeah. I mean, there just wasn't potatoes anywhere. So, so definitely cheaper, and availability, a lot more variety, and much easier to get in the Med.
But you do more sailing in the Caribbean. The wind's consistently from the east to the west predominantly, or variations of that, so you can sail up and down the islands.
Which means that you're
Really
not
easy.
spending as much on fuel,
Yeah,
and in any case fuel is cheaper here than it is in the Med.
yeah. Our neighbour's just having a piss over the side of the boat.
Again,
At
yeah, but at least he's got shorts on
got
today.
his shorts on today. Normally he's absolutely, completely starkers.
Starkers,
And
yes.
he shakes it a little bit too much. So,
what else?
so Annette tells me. There's
Climate.
more. The climate. The heat in the Med is more of a dry heat than the humid heat over here. Or certainly, very much the humid heat in the summer months in the Caribbean, which is like the off season.
And you've got the other thing is in the Caribbean, you've got 12 months of hot weather. It just gets hotter in the summer, cooler in the winter months, but they're the sailing months. It's cooler. It's not cool. It's just a little bit more bearable.
I think I prefer the culture in the Med, as in the ancient culture, the different countries, the history.
Yeah.
There's a lot more in that respect to see and do, but then you've only got the summer period to do it, and you've got that off season of having to be in a marina and spending money and being cold. So I think they've both got big pluses and big minuses, and we like both. We like both and would recommend both.
I know there are a lot of British people who are now having to check in and out of countries in the Med, and they're getting used to that. That's something that we have to do anyway when we go from each island is a different country. So when we go from island to island, we have to check in. But they make it really, really easy here. Wherever there is an anchorage, a main anchorage, generally there is a checking in customs and immigration port. So and you do have to pay for it here. There isn't anywhere, not one of the islands is it free. The French islands, it's only £5 to check into those, and in some islands you have a cruising permit as well.
Grenada is a cruising permit, which is 75 Eastern Caribbean dollars per month, which is about 25 quid a month. So it's not.
Yeah, it's not over the top, and we have to get a health certificate for Gus from the country we are leaving in readiness for the country we are going to, and that happens in most of the islands here, and there is a cost to that, and it's roughly 25 to 45 pounds, and it just lasts for the length of time that you're in that country, so that's not too bad, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Hope that answers your question.
So I can't say I prefer either. I love both for different reasons. Our next question comes from Russ and Charlotte Ward. They want to know what apps have we got, if we have, for navigation and weather.
Navigation, I use Navionics on an old iPad, and we've got an old Reanchoring system, but we haven't really got the up-to-date charts. It's mainly for the GPS, but we bought a little black box in the UK that allows us to Wi-Fi the boat's data, like the depth, the speed, the AIS and whatever, onto the iPad. So it makes the iPad really useful, and you can carry it around, and it's massively cheaper than buying one of the latest 12-inch Raymarine or B&G jobbies that are out of date in a year and a half, and you can't get Netflix on them, especially as our TV's broken. Anyway,
Steve does like his TV.
Weather apps, we use Windy, we have used Predict Wind when we were coming across the Atlantic, and most days I watch a guy on YouTube called Brian Shields, who's got a YouTube channel called Mr. Weatherman, and he does a very good hurricane and just general weather in the Caribbean daily bulletin, which has been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the more we've watched him, the more reliable he seems to be, without any undue dramatization or trying to get clicks or whatever. He just tells it as he sees it, and it's been very accurate, so we're very happy with that one. The other one which we've used in the Med and we use a little bit out here but not as much is Navily, a French app which is a way of looking at anchorages before you get there to see what they're like, what the bottom's made of, sand, rock, whatever, what the weather's doing, and the information in it is generated by other cruisers. So when you visit an anchorage, you can actually put a little bit of blurb down about what you thought, what your experiences were. You quite often get quite a few who go, oh, there was a lot of noise from the beachside disco, which we always laugh about because we quite like.
Well, there's lots of dead bodies.
Yeah, dead bodies is French for like underwater rocks. So they call them dead bodies. But anyway,
it is brilliant.
It's a French app, and it's
because it's cruisers that are actually putting the reviews on. Anybody can put a review on, but because it's cruisers that are putting the reviews on, you also get to find out where the local rubbish can be, where you can take your rubbish,
where the laundrette is, where you can get fuel, where you can tie the
hire
dinghy,
cars,
all the things. You can also, if you see that, and you see a little icon of somebody anchored in that anchorage, you can send them a message, and if they don't have to reply, but you can send them a message saying what's it like there, what's the weather like, what's the holding like, and so before you actually set off, you can get a better idea of it.
A lot of people will say, yeah, but you get all that information on No Foreign Land. You absolutely do. But the thing with Navily is it's a little bit more
up to date.
Yeah, and instant as well. If you're on your way to an anchorage and you can see that somebody's there on the app, as Steve said, you can message them to say, it's saying that the weather is good there, is it? And also you can pay to get a little bit more information out of it, and it's still cheap. It's something like $7.99 a year.
Yeah. And you get like 3-day weather forecasts, 3-day tide forecasts for the anchorage that you're going to. We hope that gives you an insight into what we use.
And don't forget, we've almost at the end of our questions. So if you've got a question, please drop an email to
cordeliasv@gmail.com.
Yeah, could really do with a few more of your questions. That's if you enjoy this part of the video. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. We actually leave Grenada officially Monday, which is in a couple of days' time.
Yeah.
Have a lovely weekend.
Get a new telly.
Oh, poor Steve. By the time you're watching this, we should be on our overnight trip to Martinique. We hope you've enjoyed this week's video, which is just a little bit longer than normal, but we did have quite a bit to tell you. A huge thank you to our fantastic Patreon and Coffee supporters. Without you, we definitely wouldn't be making these videos at the moment. If you've ever considered supporting a sailing channel, why not us? The links to both Patreon and Coffee are below, and it's not as expensive as you imagine. Cheers guys, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. I want a quick question for you.
For who?
For the people that are watching. Not you, it's about you.
Oh.
24 Cokes, and I have 24 bottles of Coke. I have half a bottle and Steve has 23 and a half bottles. Is that fair? Just a quick yes or no? Just a quick yes or no in the comments below, and I'll know that you are talking about the Coke. No, you don't need to say anything.
Well, they were
mine.
You don't
they
need,
were
no,
mine.
They were mine.
They were not yours.
Who bought them?
Well, just because you buy them doesn't mean to say they're yours.
Did you even know that I was buying them? No.
No.
Did I even know? I went there and a man said, out the back of a van, do you want some of these, son? I went, yeah, I'll have some.
Yeah, but that's really selfish. I go shopping and I'm buying you stuff all the time.
Well, I bought you a couple of pairs the other day. Did I not?
Yes, you did, Steve. Two pairs.
Because you guilted me.
2 pairs.
A pair of pairs?
No, you don't say a pair of pairs.
Why not?
Just 2 pairs.
Do you like 2 pairs of pants?
Brown eyes, baby's got brown eyes. Brown eyes.
Don't you make my brown eye blue. Oh, hello, Gus.
Hello, Gus. No, that's it.